I think if you've never used a 3D printer, now is the best time to get one.
Missing out by not having a 3D printer.
So if you're the type of person that wants to understand how things work and wants to create your own things or empower yourself to actually be a part of the creation process, then you're gonna love a 3D printer.
But which one? Well, there's so many options from the Bamboo A1 Mini to the Prusa Core 1L. But it appears there's a new competitor on the market. This is the Kidoodle A1, and I believe this is the best bang for your buck budget toy printer. And in this video, we're going to go over everything about it, from assembly to the pros, the cons, and what I think that you can't get better than this. Not sponsored, by the way, though. I don't know why I need to clarify that. Just look at my subscriber count. So let's get into the assembly. Overall, the assembly of this printer was very easy. So easy, in fact, that my little sister, who does have her own YouTube channel, was able to assemble it with very minimal help from me, other than just reading the instructions to her. She's 8, by the way. This was technically her printer, but you know how things go when you're the techie older sibling. It only took about 20 minutes to get out of the box and start printing. The printer came from the factory leveled, which was great. I didn't have to level it for over a month after, but we'll touch more on that later. Overall, 9 out of 10 setup experience. Very quick, easy, and no assembly required. I only removed one point because of the sort of unclear instructions, but that's fine. So, what does the printer come with? I personally think this is one of the highlights of this printer. The printer comes with the filament spool holder, but it's tiny. That's because it's built for 250 gram filament spools. Like this, the printer actually comes with 250 grams of Sunlu's PLA Meta filament, right there, PLA Meta, white, and it is Sunlu's newer PLA brand. I don't know why they named it Meta, but whatever. This filament here can actually be used to print a normal-sized filament holder. Right now I have some old Hatchbox red filament because I was cheap. I wasn't consistent about which brand I bought from, but as you can see, we have a small cap to keep the filament on, and the actual filament roll holder. You can pull it off like that, and it simply just clips in through those two slits, right here, focus again, onto those two parts. And that is where the small filament spool holder goes, like that. I'll say that I am kind of sad that they gave us this, as well, this spool holder is going to become e-waste after I use up this spool, due to 1 kilogram spools just being miles better. The printer also comes with a Phillips screwdriver, a pair of tweezers, a glue stick, a power supply, you know, you can't take those for granted nowadays, and a spare nozzle wiper assembly. So this is just a rubber pad and a small spring. The Kickstarter campaign, the Sunlu website, and Amazon all claim that there is supposed to be a USB drive that comes with the printer. Unfortunately, that is not the case. This is my own USB drive that I provided. This is a 2 gigabyte one from like 20 years ago, but it still works. It does have to be configured in a very special way, which is sort of annoying.
You have to create a folder spelled Kidoodle, K-I-Doodle, pronounced phonetically, or K-I-D-O-O-D-L-E. You then download the Kidoodle slicer from the sketchy website that has a Google Drive download link, because that's a good way to download applications too.
And then you're ready to slice your own models. The printer also comes with a massive library of over 1,500 models online to choose from. Yes, I know this is really small compared to MakerWorld, but come on, this is a small company. There is also an app with the printer, but no camera. So let's talk specs real quick. The Kidoodle A1. obviously meant to sound like the Bamboo A1, is an enclosed bed slinger. That means while it looks like it has a decently sized build volume from the outside, when we open it up, we can see that the internal build volume is only 100 by 100 by 90 millimeters, which is lower than those AliExpress and Temu 3D printers that somehow made it onto Amazon. If we look in here, you can actually see a little bit more in here that you wouldn't normally be able to see. So as you can see, there's all this space here that the bed has to move back and forth. That is about twice the bed's actual volume. It's like these rails and this belt in the middle are about twice the bed's actual length. This nozzle here, these rails are only 100 millimeters. And those rails up there, I have no clue because this funky system. I love funky systems like this. I want to see more of that. Generally, you wouldn't enclose a bed slinger, especially not like this. But it seems very common with these printers targeted towards children. I mean, look at this Amazon listing. Adult printer, kids printer? Are you trying to tell me I have to use this, something like this Kidoodle? Or this, like, newborn's first toy type thing? Like, what is this? Nah, here we use real printers, ones that aren't compromised, disguised with AI. But anyways, this is a great kids printer. The build volume is smaller than the Temu and AliExpress printers, but it's only $50 more than most of those. It also has an exhaust fan, a massive part cooling fan, a nozzle wiper, a hot end up to 230 Celsius, and a direct drive extruder. Also, like I mentioned earlier, look at this funky X-axis belt driving system. I would love to see more of this in modern tech. Like, this is something that teenage engineering would do. Like, it's funky, but it's interesting, and it works really well, actually. I would love to see more of this. There is also a filament runout sensor, which I do appreciate. Now for the pros. First is the direct drive extruder. It's more precise, more user-friendly, and able to do more filaments. There is a PTFE tube running to the back, but that's where the filament spool holder and filament runout sensor are. There's also the nozzle wiper, which has this nice little tray for the filament to go in. There is also internet access for those 1500 plus online models. Some cute lighting as well. The 5-inch touchscreen is a nice addition, and it is overall a well thought out printer. Having the filament on the back saves desk space, and the enclosure is good for safety. Did I mention that the door has a read sensor on it, which detects when the door is open so that children can't stick their fingers in there while the hot end is whizzing around at, let me check this again, hold on, 600 millimeters per second? Wow, that's really fast for a printer this size. If only I didn't have to grill it now. But before that, remember to subscribe. It's totally free and every subscriber counts. I really want to reach 100 subscribers by the start of next summer, and although it's really unrealistic, it's not impossible. Now, back to the video. Where do I even begin on this? Well, you have to print your own filament holder. Obviously, sunlu wants you to buy their 250 gram metal rolls. You don't have to print this filament holder, but they're more expensive per kilogram than the 1 kilogram spools from Overture and other brands. Also, sunlu. How do I put this? Sunlu didn't make this. They're just selling it. I believe it was actually made by a company called Kidoodle 3D, who managed to raise 313,483 Hong Kong dollars, or in freedom terms, about 40 grand, when their goal was only 15,000 Hong Kong, or around 2,000 freedom. I don't know how you can make a good product off of 2,000 US dollars. Like, you can buy like a base you can buy a base MacBook Pro for that price. They mentioned in their mission statement that they're the core brand of Dell Technology, who I've never heard of. They have an older website and a newer website, the older of which provides no actual information, and the newer of which is an IT website, which makes no sense. Also, the Kickstarter comment section looks, well, kind of depressing. Also, apparently this printer came out 2 years ago, and they were having major supply chain issues then. While writing this video, this orange version right here that we bought off of Amazon actually got pulled from the store, and you can no longer buy this orange version. I believe the blue version is still up on Amazon, but I don't know how much longer it will be there. It will still be on Sunlu's website though, but I believe they have a very low stock of them. So I think that Kidoodle most likely made a batch of these, well, a few batches of these, and then just forgot about it. I noticed there's also that other random company I talked about earlier with the slicer. I'll put them on the screen, but they're advertising this same printer as the Printigo, and actually provide more info than the Kickstarter and Sunlu's website combined, and that really irritates me. This random website not only has the sketchy Google Drive links for the Kidoodle slicer, which is just a reskinned Cura, the Cura profiles, and how to configure the USB drive. That's also irritating that I have to configure my USB instead of my printer just reading it or including it like I was told. Also, the Kidoodle slicer is running an older version of Cura, so if you are using it on Mac like I am, it will no longer be supported on macOS 28 as Intel apps will no longer work. And the USB drive, why? That's just bad programming, and even I've had my fair share of that, but it's not hard to fix something like that. Also, they couldn't just make this whole package 10mm taller to fit that extra build volume, to make it a nice 100mm cube. The Z-axis was really squeaky when we got the printer, so I had to buy some lube for it, but it was also time to lube my printer as well. The tray that holds the filament scraps? Useless. Great in theory, but the filament never gets in there and it doesn't really do much. Also, the bed leveling I talked about earlier. Here, let me show you. It is kind of like a ritual. We must pull the build plate forward, peel off this, grab your screwdriver. I found this at my grandpa's house. I don't know why he had a Duracell branded screwdriver. Then you must go to Settings. You must go to Axis, Home All, Z Compensate. You're going to want to grab a piece of paper. You're going to want to grab your piece of paper, and you want to check the Z offset without the build plate, and then you have to manually move the nozzle and the build plate to all four corners. Test it with the paper, and then use the stupid screwdriver with it. It's an insanity. They couldn't just include knobs on it? Like, what? Editor's note here. While I was filming this video, I was gonna try to print this 3D print test, this like printer stress test, but if I go to my print history, fine. Go to my print history, you can see that it has failed 3 times. It doesn't even do anything. But when I print from the USB, it just doesn't print anymore. I don't understand why it does that. And also, it's been making this weird, like, whirring noise when it starts to any print, which is not great. So that's why I called it a toy printer, not a 3D printer, because that's what it's best for. You're not making industrial grade parts here. You're not making large models. You're printing toys for family, or you're a kid. There's so many things about this printer that just scream cheap product. You can take the device out of China, but you can't take the China out of the device. There's little translation errors everywhere, and how would they make it for just $2,000 US and have a whole production line? An IT company is not making this. There's just so much wrong here. I love this printer, and I still stand by my opinion that it's the best budget 3D printer. But just like Bamboo, the budget option, I'm not saying that all of Bamboo is budget. I'm just saying they have the best budget printer. They're always going to be under fire for some egregious thing they've done. And when I printed those models that I showed at the beginning, look at, hold on, get this red film out of here. Ugh. Look at how much waste it left. There's all of this from like 2 failed sharks, and all of this from 1 failed, and yes, I learned that I need to use this specific glue stick or some kind of glue stick, and I can't use my Bamboo liquid glue. I don't know why, but that's another thing about this printer. There's no heated bed. Yeah, so this printer is great, but there's just so many things wrong with it. I will recommend it for someone who just wants to get into 3D printing and wants to have an easy experience with their kid. But if you really want to get into 3D printing and you really want to have a good experience with your kid, I still wholeheartedly recommend the Bamboo A1 with the AMS combo, or even the A1 Mini if you just want to, without the AMS, if you just want to get into 3D printing. By the way, Bamboo, please sponsor me, please, 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 please. If you see this, please sponsor me. I would love it. The A1 is so much better than this. I don't have one, I have an old Creality, and the X2D is my dream printer, please. Anyway, the decision is yours to make. The links to everything are in the description. If you choose that this is worth $150, then go ahead, but be warned.